our biggest fear is Carly wanting to have a relationship with you and Caitlyn.
Okay, I don't know why Caitlyn and Tyler are popping up on my FYP all day, all of a sudden, but since I'm an adoptee, I have adopted children. I have done private guardianships. I have a lot of experience in this area, and we're going to talk about it. First of all, I want to start off saying this, and I don't think a lot of people grasp this. Caitlyn and Tyler were 16 and 17 years old when they conceived Carly. Brandon and Teresa, the adopted parents, they had tried for years and they could not conceive. With that being said, my personal opinion is that they swindled two 16-year-old kids into an open adoption that they never had any intention of fulfilling. I don't know about other adoptees, but me and my siblings, when we were kids, we had a lot of questions. Now, obviously, we knew we were adopted. We were adopted as a sibling group of 3. We were never lied to about it. We were never deceived about it. However, they did refuse to answer literally all of our questions. And when I say they, I really just mean my adopted mother. She would always say, oh, well, when you guys are 18, when you're 18, when you're old enough, when you're old enough. Now, at 32, looking back, I do realize now that my parents were trying to protect me from some of the heartbreak that I was destined to endure meeting my biological family. However, I will never forget the difference in my mother and my father when that time came around. I filed for emancipation, which is a divorce from your parents, when I was 16, and it was granted. With that being said, I had been looking for my biological family since I was 11 years old, and when I was 16, I got to meet them. The difference in the support that I received from my adopted father is so tremendous compared to the emotional abuse I endured from my adopted mother. Of course, my adopted mother was a narcissist, and she would always do and say things like, oh, I guess I'm just such a bad mom. Oh, you just didn't come with a handbook. Well, I guess just since nobody in this house loves me or appreciates me. My dad promised to go with me when I wanted to meet my biological family and promised to help me make that happen. And he did fulfill his end of those agreements. However, I will never forget how my adopted mother reacted when it was time to go meet them or when I started speaking to them and found them. She would be hysterically bawling. Yes, my adopted mother to this day does not like me and literally never has. I say that to say that I think she was mostly concerned about my brothers who were also going with me. But she would hysterically cry, oh, you're just gonna forget us. Oh, you're gonna love them more. Oh, da 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 da. Of course, none of that was true, but who was I at 16 to tell a 50-year-old woman that? As an adoptee, somebody who has adopted, who has children who are adopted, and who has done a guardianship, my personal opinion is that open adoption is the least traumatic. Had I been granted an open adoption, most of my childhood trauma would cease to exist. I would have been looking out a window every night crying, wondering like if my family was looking at the same stars that I was, if they missed me, if they thought about me, why they didn't love me, etc. Closed adoptions, like all adoptions, are only for the adoptive parent. Most of these adoptions are not child-centered, and most of these adoptive parents are not trauma-informed.